Hello, I'm Tim Rogers. You are watching Kotaku.com. Final Fantasy VII came out 20 years ago. At that time, I was a student at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana. I bought it immediately and played it completely. Shortly after that, I graduated from college and moved to Japan. I lived in Japan for 10 years. Now I've been back in America for 7 years. I'm playing Final Fantasy VII in Japanese for the first time in my life. I'm noticing a lot of tiny differences between the English translation and the Japanese original. Our friends Cloud, Barret, Aeris, Tifa, Red 13, and someone named Yuffie, who we are conveniently ignoring because her dialogue is so badly translated with such consistency that it wouldn't even be funny to talk about it even for the length of a complete sentence, are chasing a magical, megalomaniacal murderer named Sephiroth. Our story started in the Blade Runner metropolis of Midgar. Later, we marched in a parade. Then we went somewhere resembling Disneyland and did some time in prison. In our previous episode, we abused an animal in front of a live studio audience, and a jail warden gave us a brand new car. The next destination on our world tour of revenge is Cosmo Canyon. We could ride our brand new car straight there, or we could stop over on the side of the road at the ruined town of Gongaga, where we can fight an optional boss and view 3 optional cutscenes. I love these optional cutscenes. One of them foreshadows an upcoming minor event in the story. One of them shows our nemesis, the Turks, engaging in a candid discussion regarding which of Final Fantasy VII's female protagonists is the most sexually attractive, and one of them fills in the backstory of Aeris' first love. Let's talk about that third one, because that's the one where the translator kinda messes up. If we talk to the people in the ruined town of Gongaga, we see that everyone tells the same story. One day, there was a huge explosion. Many townspeople died in it. Oh, in Japanese, they actually don't all tell the same story. One of them says, 魔航路の爆発事故が起こってから随分経つが、その爪痕は未だに村のあちこちに残っている. Here's a quick literal translation. A lot of time has passed since the Mako reactor explosion, though its claw marks remain here and there in this village. Another townsperson in the official English translation says, people can live without the Shinra's Mako reactors. In Japanese, that's 私ゴンガガ村の住人は魔航路の爆発事故があってからは魔鋼エネルギーの利用をやめて自然と共に生きることを選んだの. Here's another hyperliteral translation. Us residents of Gongaga Village stopped using Mako energy after the reactor explosion accident and chose to instead live as one with nature. That's quite a different bit of writing there. Look, as I've said before, the translator was working on a comically tight deadline. Furthermore, this is an optional area of the game. To the translator, this might have just been a line in a list in a spreadsheet on a computer screen. He might not have known where it was in the game or what that part of the game even looked like. Back in early 1997, it took about 5 minutes to download a single 320 by 240 photograph of a naked lady. Do not ask me how I know that. So adding this together with the time zone difference between California and Tokyo means that the translator might have faced the choice between leaving a blank empty for the duration of an entire workday and a half, while awaiting the answer to the question, excuse me, to what does this pertain? Or just filling it with some nuance-free summary and marching on. To a translator working in such a pre-gigabit internet era, no nuance was better than the wrong nuance. However, when Cloud says, big, large, huge materia, in Japanese he actually does say, big de, large de, huge na materia. Nice! Or should I say, nice! It's unfortunate how tucked away Gongaga is, because it contains a key cutscene developing Cloud and Aeris' relationship. In one of the huts, we meet an old couple who tells us their son left for Midgar about 10 years ago to join Soldier. They notice that Cloud has a Soldier vibe about him, so they ask, he left saying he's going to join Soldier. You ever hear of a Zack in Soldier? This is the first time we hear Zack's name. Zack is a hyper-minor character who only exists by name in a handful of hidden cutscenes. His name and identity are a secret to the player until very close to the end of the story, and his true identity is a crushing, depressing, twisted shock to both Cloud and the player. I feel as though these details were secret even from the translator as he worked through the game in a linear fashion. My hunch begins with the way the translator translated Zack's name. In Japanese, the old folks in the hut say, "Soldier ni naru chū de mura o tobidashitaんだ. Anta shiranai kai? Soldier no Zack's." He left the village saying he was gonna join Soldier. You ever hear of a Zax in Soldier? The character's name is Zax. Maybe it's supposed to be spelled Z-A-X. Zax. He is not a singular Zack. He is a plural Zax. The translator might have seen this name and, considering the character to be less important than ultimately he turns out to be, made an impulse decision to cut the nonsense and call him Zack. This particular scene is as dense as a supermarket bakery chocolate birthday cake left in a refrigerator over a summer weekend. So I'll cut to the good part. Outside, Cloud asks Aeris if she knew this Zax. Aeris replies, "Didn't I tell you? He was my first love." In Japanese, it's worth noting that she says, "Itsuka hanasanakatta? Didn't we talk about this before? Watashi hajimete suki ni natta hito." Again, as long before during the scene on the playground, she uses the phrase hajimete suki ni natta hito, the first person I ever liked or loved. You know, suki ni natta hito is the name of a famous old Japanese enka song by Miyako Harumi. It's about a girl waiting in a village for the guy she likes to come back from a journey of an unspecified nature. However, this is an internet video series about Final Fantasy and not a yoga class, so I'll quit it with the stretching. She continues. She says that Zax went missing after leaving for a job 5 years ago. I think it was 5 years ago. He went out on a job and never came back. He loved women, a real ladies' man. He probably found someone else. Okay, first of all, buddy, it's ladies' man. Ladies, apostrophe. He is the man of many ladies. That's kinda just how that particular cliched expression goes. The way you've got it written here, it looks like Aeris is saying that Zack is the man of a not specified, yet singularly quantified individual lady who happens to be real. So, if you're going to use cliched expressions, you shouldn't bend them. YouTube comments will freak out if you bend them. Wow, listen to me. I'm explaining English style usage to a dead guy. Oh my god, the script actually says I'm explaining English style usage to a video game. I did not mean to accidentally insinuate that the translator of Final Fantasy VII was dead. I mean, he's not dead. I looked him up. You know what, though? I'm actually not going to edit this out. In Japanese, Aeris doesn't necessarily call Zax a real ladies' man. She just says he was a guy who loved girls. This is a petty yet meaningful difference. My favorite kind. In Japanese, there's also a lot more nuance when she says he probably found someone else. 5年前かな、仕事で出かけてそれっきり女の子が大好きなやつだったからね。どこかで知り合ったことなく良くなっちゃったのよ。きっとどこかで知り合った子 means a girl he got to know somewhere. 仲良くなっちゃったのよ means got friendly with. きっと means clearly. As with most of courses in English, kitto usually shines light on the speaker's doubt. So in this case, clearly probably means probably. She's saying Zax was a guy who loved girls. He probably got friendly with a girl he met somewhere. She absolutely does not imply that the girl was a girl in addition to herself. She's just saying a girl. Look, I'm not saying there's a 100% guarantee that Zack wasn't Aeris's real boyfriend. All I'm saying is, Final Fantasy VII presents no solid evidence that Aeris and Zack ever speed-hugged, bedtime buddied, lip-kissed, or even hand-cuddled, though it also doesn't present any concrete evidence that they didn't. Now, I know that no evidence of something does not suffice as evidence to the contrary. However, we're not pondering the deepest mysteries of the universe here. I'm just pointing out that in English, Aeris says he probably found someone else. In Japanese, Aeris says he clearly found someone. There's no else there. Make of that what you will. My conclusion for now is this, that the Japanese language is vague enough in matters like these that we can say it's more than slightly possible Aeris's affection for this lady's man was unrequited. Now we stop over at Cosmo Canyon, which turns out to be Lion Dog Red 13's hometown. I wish I could use the real music from Cosmo Canyon without Square Enix copyright striking this video. Oh well, hey, if you want to have a sorta good time, look up the song Final Fantasy by the Korean hip-hop group Drunken Tiger. It's a terrible song, though it aggressively samples the Cosmo Canyon theme music, which is hilarious. I remember listening to that song in a fast car crossing the desert of Nevada in the summer of 2001. I was driving across the whole country all by myself, and wait, let's not talk about that. We'd be here all day. Shout me out in the comments if you'd like to be here all day. We get into Cosmo Canyon, and right off the bat, we get a little something worth pointing out. Red 13 says of Cosmo Canyon, "Here is where I was. I mean, this is my hometown." That's an odd line. Let's look at the Japanese. ここがオイラの違う違う ここが私のふるさとだ. This has a comic book bonker balls level of wacky in Japanese. He is saying, "This is where I..." I mean, this is my hometown. Which in English, on paper, doesn't look that much different, except for the sudden The important point of the Japanese here is the pronoun usage. Japanese offers a wide range of first-person pronouns for every speaker. This is a neat concept. If you ask me, it's pretty weird that you don't see more languages doing this. I'm warning you, nobody better comment that English offers substitutions like yours truly. I see you about to comment that. Stop it. Come on. Get out of here with your yours trulies. Signed, me. Japanese has watashi for standard usage, atashi for girly girls, boku for boys, ore for manly men, ore in katakana for manly men who are proud of their borderline illiteracy, ore-sama for cartoonishly manly men whose manliness is the product of a specific type of criminal trashiness, ashi for guys who clean up horse manure in comic books about samurais, wade-wade for a group, wade for divine or angelic beings in translated Christian scripture, or demons in Persona games, waga-hai for an overtly pompous person. There are a lot more. The most important one for the purposes of this discussion is oida for a cute little happy tiny chubby baby boy child. The kind you'd praise as being such a big boy because he fed his macaroni and cheese to himself, because he finished a whole basket of chicken tenders in his crib with his own 2 hands. It is this childish pronoun that Red 13 uses on accident for the first I in his introduction of his hometown. Red 13 then stops himself and restarts the sentence with watashi, the general usage first-person pronoun, which he's been using in every conversation with our party members so far in the game. Red 13 is hiding a secret, that at heart he is actually just a tiny child, and he's using the occasion of having made new friends, us, the Final Fantasy VII Buddy Brigade, to reinvent himself as more grown up than he really is. That's cute! I mean, I've never done anything like that before. Red 13 gives us a little bit of history on the canyon and his parents. My tribe were protectors of those who appreciate this beautiful canyon and the planet. Oh man, I love this line. Let's just look at this line for a second in silence. Okay, let's move on. My brave mother fought and died here. Though my cowardly father left her, I am the last of my race. Cloud, Solid Snake's in a question. Cowardly father? And now, Final Fantasy VII presents us with what is easily one of the top 100 text boxes in video game history. Yes, my father was a wastrel. Whoa, wow. What a word. I needed to find out what this was in Japanese. だが、勇ましい戦士であった母は死に、ふぬけの父は逃げ出し、一族は私だけになってしまった。ふぬけの父。ああ、父は見下げたふぬけ野郎だ。In Japanese, Red 13 uses the word funuke to describe his father's actions. Cloud clarifies by repeating funuke, and Red 13 elaborates. Yes, my father was a misageta funuke yaro. Misageru is the verb look, combined with the verb lower. It sorta means look down on. As a past tense verb juxtaposed with a noun, it feels like the adjective despised or despicable. Yes, my father was a despicable funuke yaro. If you don't know what Yaro means, you might not have watched every episode of this entire series to date. Please go back and, hey, I promise that you might have a good time. Funuke just means fool or coward. So Red 13 is saying, my darn father was a despicable coward. We could say that Funuke is sort of an old manny way to say coward. This makes a lot of sense given that Red 13's mentor is the 130-year-old man we're going to meet in a minute. So the translator grabbed his thesaurus and dug up a hog-bonkers wheeler of a synonym. Wastrel. Wow. Where is that word even from? Whoa. 1580. Was the translator a time traveler? By the way, I realize it's pronounced wastrel. I am honor-bound, however, to pronounce it wastrel, because in 1997 I did not know the proper pronunciation. I googled it yesterday. We now explore the town. The weapon shop keeper says, the people of this canyon hate to compete. In Japanese, it's この谷の人間は争いを嫌うからね, using the verb 争う, which can mean to compete, though it can also, more broadly, describe any and all conflict. The weapon shop keeper is saying the people of this canyon hate conflict. The people of this canyon are pacifists. This kind of tiny little fun-size candy wrapper of translation discrepancy litters the floor of the rest of this game. If I don't point out 10 more examples like this for every minute of the remainder of this series, feel free to imagine them yourself. A kid says, of a door, Bugenhagen sealed this door shut. How'd he do that? With super glue? In Japanese, this child speaks in all hiragana and katakana, illustrating that his youth obstructs his knowledge of the world, and kanji. この扉ってさ、Bugenhagen様が封印してるから開かないんだ。封印ってなんだろう？強力接着剤のことかな? He doesn't know what 封印 is. 封印 means seal. Bugenhagen magically sealed this door. He closes out his ponderance with, what's a 封印? A kind of strong adhesive? That he knows the word adhesive, despite talking all in hiragana and katakana, is quote-unquote funny. Kids sure say the darnedest things. We go up to the mountaintop to talk to Red 13's grandfather figure Bugenhagen in his kooky planetarium shack hole. He tells us,
Nanaki is still a child, you see.
Please stop, grandfather. I'm 48.
Incredible longevity Nanaki's tribe has. Equivalent to that of a 15 or 16-year-old in human reckoning, it is to say that his 48 years would only be, you shall see.
Okay, I'm gonna not do that voice ever again for the rest of my life. First of all, dude, you hyphenate 16-year-old like this. 16 years old is no hyphens. 16-year-old is hyphens. Come on, buddy. In Japanese, this line is, wow, wait, no, it's not any different. So what am I missing? Just because Red 13 is going to live for 400 years doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to blow the first 48 years of his life rolling around in a McDonald's ball pit choking on McNuggets and hugging teddy bears. I mean, 48 years is 48 god-darn years, man. That's enough time to become fluent in 12 languages, win a Pulitzer Prize, win 100 pro tennis titles, become the President of the United States. Is it our awareness of our own life expectancy that informs the rate of our maturation? I don't have a punchline for this. Bugenhagen has a machine he invites us to take a look at. He's going to give us a science lesson about how human souls return to a subterranean river known as the life stream. This is an important element of Final Fantasy VII's plot.
Digressed I have. If watch this you do, understand better you will.
I said I wasn't going to do that voice anymore. Spirit energy makes all things possible. Trees, birds, and humans. Not just living things. Spirit energy makes it possible for planets to be planets. What happens if that spirit energy were to disappear? In Japanese, this is remarkably different.
いろいろ話してしまったが、まあ、これを見たらわかるじゃろ。精神エネルギーのおかげで、木や鳥や人間は、いやいや、生き物だけではない、星が、星であるためには、その精神エネルギーが必要なんじゃ。その精神エネルギーがなくなったらどうなる?
What he's saying is, when humans die, they become a part of the life stream, feeding the planet's energy. However, when I personally die, my corpse will inflate slowly until it is the size of the planet. Then I will raise my arm, like this, and suck all the energy out and into my fingertips, causing the planet to crumble into space dust. Wow, That's sick. Oh wait, sorry, I made that up. Red 13 decides he's going to stay behind in Cosmo Canyon. Our buddies sit around a bonfire. All of our party members say a couple of words. It's a gentle, quiet moment in the story. It's precious. We get to catch up with how each of these characters is developing. As per usual with this game, Barret's English translation misses much of the nuance from the Japanese original. I promised my guys someday, when we saved the planet from the Shinra, that we'd all go to Cosmo Canyon and celebrate. Biggs, Wedge, Jesse. Now they're all gone. Died for the planet. Really? To save the planet? We all hate the Shinra. Do I even got a to go on? First of all, look at that typo. Do I even got a to go on? Clearly there's a noun of some sort missing. Let's look at the Japanese. Minna inakunachimatta. Kono hoshi wo mamoru tame ni. 本当にこの星の命を守るため俺はシンラが憎かっただけその俺にこれ以上旅を続ける資格はあるのか I'll skim through this literally. They all died to protect this planet. Is that true? To defend the life of this planet? I just hated the Shinra. That's all. Am I thus even qualified to continue this journey? This is huge. Barret is admitting that he might never have cared as much about the health and life of the planet as he cared about getting revenge on the Shinra company. Barret suffers serious pain whenever he thinks about his past. Introspection has sharpened his hindsight to a razor's edge. He is now capable of seeing exactly why every wrong decision he has ever made in his life was the wrong one. Here he is being emotionally honest with Cloud, who has, at this point, finally become his true friend.
I love them.
And the English version is just like, do I even got a to go on? Cue the laugh track. Well, now Bugenhagen shows up and tells Red 13 to come take a look at something. We do a little dungeon, which kinda sucks. Bugenhagen says, everyone here's a ghost of the Gi tribe, killed in a certain battle. In Japanese, he says,
ここにあるのはみんな義族の亡霊じゃ。ある戦士に倒されたな。
This literally means, shoot man, sorry about all the random battles in here, we just gotta pace out all this drama somehow. That was a joke! He uses the phrase, aru senshi ni taosareta, killed by a certain warrior, not killed in a certain battle. We fight a boss, which kinda sucks, and we get into this cool room. Bugenhagen then tells Red 13 the truth about his father, that his father fought the Gi tribe valiantly and was wounded by several arrows which petrified him, turning him into a creepy statue on the mountaintop. A coward and ran away, he was, you thought. Though to protect Cosmo Canyon risked his life alone, he did. In Japanese, he says,
たとえ逃げ出した卑怯者と思われても、たった一人命をかけてコスモキャニオンを守ったんじゃ。
using the word hikyomono, which is a fancy word for coward. The translator went for coward, though Bugenhagen being a weird old man with weird little glasses, I personally would have gone for something a little more flowery. For example, wastrel. Cue the laugh track. Oh god, I sneezed, I'm sorry. I think this game is driving me insane. I've now played about 6 times as much Final Fantasy VII as the translator possibly could have. Red 13 asks if his mom knew. Bugenhagen says, ho ho hoo ooh ooh, she knew. The two of them made me promise to keep this cave shut. They asked me to seal it myself and to not tell a soul. They said we should forget about this cave. In Japanese, well, it's no different in Japanese. It's just, I gotta ask.
Why though?
I mean, why not tell this kid his dad was cool? I mean, what harm is that gonna do? Did they fear he would brag to the kids in the village? And soon the adults would know that their enemies still lurked out there in the shadows, hating? He seems like a good kid. I think he could have kept a secret. Ah, heck. Oh no, I'm starting to suspect that in neither English nor Japanese is Final Fantasy VII a work of literature. The next day, our heroes bid Red 13 farewell. Barret says, "That's just the way it goes. You came in handy at times." Wow, that's harsh. In Japanese, he actually says something super nice, given his personality. "Shikata ne sa, kekkou tayori ni naru yatsu dattan da kedo na." Shikata nai can mean it's out of my hands, or that's just the way it goes. In this case, I'd say Barret is saying, well, I can't change your mind. Tayori ni naru yatsu means trustworthy or reliable fellow. Kekkou is one of those magnificent Japanese words that can mean sort of its own opposite sometimes. For example, say you've just finished drinking your 11th beer. Your friend offers you a 12th. Kekkou desu means no thanks. Say your friend mentions for the 16th time in 17 minutes that he needs a haircut. Kekkou desu means knock it off. Now say you take a bite of a delicious pork chop.
Oishii.
Means this tastes good. Meanwhile,
Kekkou oishii.
means holy lord, this tastes amazing. So I would say, given my understanding of Barret's personality, kekkou tayori ni naru yatsu means you were one heck of a reliable fellow. Well, Red 13 surprises us. He's coming along anyway. We ask, what happened? And he says, I think I grew up a little. That's what happened. Oira, skoshi dake otona ni natta. Souyuu koto. In Japanese, he now uses the pronoun oira in front of his best friends. As it turns out, growing up means letting the people you care about see the real you.
I love him.
Now I remember, again, the NASCAR fan in my dorm. He bought Final Fantasy VII and a PlayStation because he saw a picture of Cloud standing next to a motorcycle. He came into my room one night to ask for help with the final battle. It turned out he had literally never equipped any materia. Wow. After he beat the boss, I let him watch the ending in solitude. He came back into my room and said two things. That ending ruled, dude. Wow. That part with Red 13 at the end. Man. Dude. Then he was quiet for a second. You remember that one part, though, in Cosmo Canyon when Red 13's dad cried even though he was turned into a statue? Like, tears came dripping out of the statue? I was like,
Yeah?
I can't repeat exactly what he said next as he said it, because when I was 5 years old, I promised my mom I would never speak a single profane word aloud. To this day, I have kept my word. For 33 years, I've persisted in using a consistent vocabulary of childish substitutions for profane words whenever quoting or paraphrasing friends, films, or enemies. I now apply this vocabulary to what my dorm neighbor said next. Dude, that was some hokey butt bull stuff. It had been 2 years since I'd played the game myself, so I was like,
Yeah, dude.
Then he was like, same thing when Aeris got destroyed, dude. I don't get it, man. And I was like,
You don't get what?
and he was like, I mean, she was dumb. And like, Tifa's got them boobies. Sephiroth's a heckin' pimp, though, dude. So, finally, at the end of episode 9 of this series, we arrive upon the central question. Why did not my dorm neighbor cry when in Final Fantasy VII Aeris died? I will keep investigating. When I find out, moments later, so will you.